What's up, everyone? Today I'm going to just show you how to make a scatter plot using R, and it's relatively straightforward. Before we get started, I'm just going to show you the data that I'm using. This is a leaderboard from the NHL 2019 to 2020 season before it was unfortunately cut short. I scraped this data from NHL.com using Python, and I'll link to the video that showed you how to do that below. And what I'm going to do is just create a simple scatter plot relating goals to shots on goal. And, if you had to guess, you'd say if you had more shots on goal, you probably have more goals. So we'll see if that's the case. All right, so let's hop into R. I'm going to be using ggplot2. And if you don't already have this library, you can go ahead and install that package. I'm going to run it. It's already actually loaded up on mine. Then I'm going to pull in my data. It's a CSV file that we were just looking at, and that's the data I'm going to pull in using read CSV. And here it is. I'm using RStudio, and the way I've got RStudio set up, we're going to be plotting everything down here in the lower right-hand corner. And here's the data that I just pulled in. So let's go ahead and start plotting this. So I'm going to come down here. We're going to call in ggplot. I'm going to specify the data that I'm going to be using, the data frame that we'll be using. This is my data. And then we're just going to call in our X and Y axes using AES, which stands for aesthetics. So X is going to be equal to, I believe it's just shots on goal, SOG. So X will be equal to SOG. So we're just calling in the column name there. Y will be equal to G, capital G, right? Okay, so that's the data that we're going to be plotting. The next thing that we're going to do is call in the plot type, which in this case it's just going to be a scatter plot, but really it's just kind of a point plot. So it's a geom point. Okay, let's go ahead and plot this right now, just to see what it looks like. It's coming. So here it is down here. You can see shots on goal. Let's zoom in just so everyone can see it. Shots on goal. You see goal is our y-axis, and shots on goal is our x-axis. Each point is black, and the background is gray, and we've got our axes lines there. Now, a great thing about ggplot is you can really easily change the themes. There's a lot of good built-in themes. I'm a big fan of Theme Classic, so let's go ahead and plot that. And you can change a lot of this stuff manually, but these built-in themes actually look really nice a lot of the times. So there you have it, right? That's a very simple scatter plot. And as you can see, I'll zoom in. As you can see, people that take more shots on net tend to have more goals. Not too surprising, right? All right, let's make this look a little bit nicer. So you can see right now the y-axis is labeled G and the x-axis is labeled SOG. Which is fine if you know what those things stand for, but it's not so fine if you don't know what they stand for. So let's go down here and let's start changing these. So we're going to say xlab is going to be equal to shots on goal, and then we're going to say ylab is going to be just goals. So let's go ahead and run that and take a look at what that looks like. You can see our axes are now different names. That's great. Well, let's make our points a little bit larger too. So up here in geom point, let's go ahead and say size equal to, let's just say 3. Let's change the color too. Let's make the color, well, let's just make it blue. Add a little color to the graph here. We'll run that. All right, there we go. It's starting to look a little bit better. Let's make the axes titles a little bit nicer looking. So we'll come down here and we'll just say theme, and then we will call out axis titles, and within that we're going to say element text, and we will then call in a size. So this will be a font size, and we'll say 20, and it's already black, so we don't need to change anything else, but we can change the face to let's change it to bold. Let's change it to bold italics. Bold italics. Maybe it's bold italic. Yeah, there we go. So now it's bold italic. I actually don't like the way italic looks right there. So let's just say bold All right, simple as that. So we're starting to get a pretty good looking graph here. Another thing that you might want to do is add a best fit line to this. This is also very easy in ggplot. If we come up here after we call in the line or the individual points, we can just say something really simple. We can call in stat smooth, and within stat smooth we can call in different methods. And the method that we'll say right now will just be LM. It's the linear method, and that should add a line. All right, there you go. You can see that it's added this line, and the shaded region around the line is actually the standard error. Now, if you don't like that, you can remove that within stat smooth by just doing this. I believe what you do is just call SE, and I think if you don't want it, I think you just set it to false. Let's see if that's the case. Yeah, there you have it. Okay, so when you call in SE, put this over here for just a second and focus on the code. If you call in SE and set it equal to false, it removes that standard error shading. Okay, so there you have it, right? That's a pretty nice looking graph. You know, you might still want to change a few things. You might want to make the ticks look a little bit nicer, but this is in general how you would create a scatter plot and fit a nice linear line to that data. And as we hypothesized, people that take more shots on net tend to score more goals. So who was it, Wayne Gretzky, that said you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take? Good advice there, Mr. Gretzky. All right, if you like that video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Right now I'm just making a bunch of these really simple data visualization videos using R and ggplot in particular. So let me know if they're useful. Let me know if you want me to do anything that you've been working on. I'm always looking to kind of expand my skill set here. All right, you can also find me on Twitter. You can find me on ResearchGate. You can find me on LinkedIn. A lot of my code is up on GitHub. And of course, you can keep watching me here on YouTube. All right, until next time, keep coding.